Good evening and Ayubowan. Congratulations to all the graduates who were graduates a little while ago on this momentous occasion. The culmination of years of hard work, dedication and sacrifice, not only by you, but your lecturers and the support staff at the hotel school, and of course the parents. You should all be incredibly proud of what you have accomplished here at SLITHM, and I'm honored to be standing here today to share the celebrations with you. Chairman, DG and the Board of Directors, thank you very much for inviting me. Earlier, our Secretary, Mr. Herath, mentioned Steve Jobs, one of his quotes. I believe one of the best in the world convocation speeches was done by late Mr. Steve Jobs in 2005 at the Stanford Convocation in USA. I'm sure most of you graduates have seen that, but if you have not, it's a must watch on YouTube. It's especially valuable to the undergraduates. Right? I was in your shoes in 85 batch, but our graduation was in 1986. And I received my certificates from Mr. Stanley Taylor, the Director General of the ILO at that time, who were funding the CHS. During my student days, we were assigned for various tasks at the AGM convocation. And I used to notice in my first year, two gentlemen, salt and pepper hair, I thought they were parents. The next year, the year after, also I see these two gentlemen, very dignified, two gentlemen with super personality. I realized that they can't be parents because you can't be having, two friends can't be having children coming to the hotel school every year. Then I found out that they were two chairmen of pioneering hotel companies. One was Mr. Ratna Sivaratnam, chairman of Aitken Spence Hotel. The other gentleman was Mr. Ken Balendra, chairman of John Keel's Hotel. At that time, I think they were heading the tourism sector of their respective companies. And I have seen Mr. Askar Musaji, Mr. Herbert Kure, I see his grandson here today, and many other stalwarts in the industry gracing this occasion. And I'm very happy to see the same trend continuing today as well, with the heads of many corporates coming and encouraging these graduates, and more importantly, the SLITHM. Dear graduates, as you embark on your next journey, I shall take a few moments to share some words of encouragement based on my experience. To start with, I wish to stress just 3 points. Number one is the certificate that you're holding, the value of that certificate. Right? If you look carefully, it tells you about your last 4 to 5 years of accomplishments. It tells you how we have performed. It tells you how you have achieved your grades. But it's not going to tell you what your performance is going to be in the next 5 years. It will not give any assurance of your performance in the next 5 years as well. Because your certificate is a lovely souvenir from now on. And tomorrow when you go to the industry and start performing your duties, any other person on the same rank as you, could be from another institution qualified or could be from the ranks where you can learn a lot, but all of you all start working from the same footing, same start. So, make use of that. Only thing is that this certificate gives you a beautiful, good foundation to start with, which many others do not have. Believe me, there will be hundreds of thousands of other people of your age who would love to lay their hands on this certificate. But you are a privileged lot, and then also to have this government education. So, make use of that and start your journey afresh tomorrow. What you are entering is a hospitality industry. It's not just a business place, but a source of comfort, safety, service, warmth, and community. So basically, it's a people industry. To be in this industry, you need to be a people person. You need to enjoy company of people. And you have to make more and more friends, and you have to be good with your colleagues, you have to be good with your bosses, you have to be good with your guests. And don't ever forget your batchmates and the lecturers, because what you have achieved in these last 4 or 5 years are some lifelong relationships. My batch, we still meet. In fact, on the 1st of May, we are meeting. And our lecturer is coming from Australia, Mr. Godfrey Perra, in June. He's already let us know his dates available and to meet us. In fact, some of the batchmates are still holding photographs of our school days, one of mine, and he's trying to blackmail as well. So these relationships, treasure them. These are the most valuable things as you grow in your careers. Number 2 is about your work ethics. Everybody says you work hard. Some say you work smart. Yes. But you must always remember, to get your bearings right, you must understand that you're not going to work for a superior officer only. You are going to work for the company, for the owner, for the investor. The moment you realize that, and the moment you appreciate that, you think, you start behaving and you start performing as if the organization belongs to you. The moment you start working like that, your job is set. You will perform brilliantly. I hear a word called work-life balance now. This phrase wasn't there during our time. Work-life balance is being promoted by many YouTubers, gurus, lots of trainers, all that. Yes, there must be work-life balance, but to have a work-life balance, you must balance your work first. You be good in your work and balance your work, and then your life gets balanced. That is the work-life balance. I hear this phrase. I have 2 employed adult kids. I hear this at home as well. Work-life balance doesn't work from the day one of your employment. It does not come with your letter of appointment. You have to earn that. Postgraduate, when I came back from India, I was assigned to the banquets department with another colleague of mine who was my senior batch. 2 of us work from 8 o'clock in the morning. We are in the banquet office. We work till 4 p.m. We do all the functions. We used to handle the sales and assign for the functions, order requirements, all that, and we work till 4. It's not an 8 to 4 job. Then we go back to work at 7 o'clock and work till very late. How did we manage our work-life balance? At 4 o'clock, we come down to the executive restroom. We watch a little bit of news. Then we go play squash. Then go to the gym, do a bit of sauna steam, come back, have a wash, and then get into our tuxedos and start the evening shift. We worked 12, 15 hours, but we managed our work-life balance without knowing that there's a phrase like work-life balance. Then by 10:30, 11:30, 12, whatever the time we finish, work-life balance continues, and all the operational people sit for dinner. The chefs bring the best food. They bring the best steaks that are to be tasted. They bring the latest dishes what they are trying out. I still remember late Chef Morugama coming with latest dishes. Then our work-life balance continued. Of course, once or twice a week or 3, 4 times a month, we also found some time for romance outside the work. So that's work-life balance. The work-life balance, you need to find it. It doesn't come with your letter of appointment. Don't go looking for it or demanding. So, number 3 is never stop learning and growing in your careers. The hotel industry is continually evolving with new trends, technologies, and customer expectations are emerging. New customers are being born. The new millennials are extremely demanding in different ways. You should stay curious, take on new challenges, and be willing to change. By doing so, you'll continue to thrive and succeed in this exciting field. Today, many youngsters are just doing their MBAs within a month or 1 or 2 years after their graduation. I believe your growing and continued education must take a slow process and take your time to do your MBAs. Until such time, learn what you have learned, practice that, and gain full confidence on that. This is where another myth comes, thinking out of the box. This is also relevant to you. This again is a phrase coined by the trainers and YouTubers and the training gurus. It's good. Yes, everybody in their jobs must thinking out of the box, but not everybody. Because before you start thinking out of the box, you have to know about the box. Without knowing very well about the box, you can't start thinking out of the box. You need to know what's in the box. You need to know the culture of the box. You need to know the objectives of the box. You need to know the financials of the box. You need to know the HR of the box. So once you're thorough with it, yes, then it's time for you to think out of the box. Imagine a bellboy 2-3 months into the job, and he says, "Oh, I was told by the training manager to think out of the box." And he comes and says, "Sir, I think we should reduce our bell desk staff, keep it 1 person, and then hand over the delivery of baggages to a courier company." That's thinking out of the box, but then it's not practical. So your thinking out of the box has to come after understanding everything about the box, and then move out into the out of the box. So those are the 3 things which I wish to leave with you to ponder. And finally, I wish to conclude my speech with a quote from Shakespeare's novel. Nothing serious, don't worry. It's the question is to be or not to be. But the real question I see here is to be leaving or not to be leaving. I'm sure you graduates, and especially the parents, are grappling with this question. To leave the country or not to leave the country? Yes, we have had political mismanagement in our country. I'm putting it very slightly, very lightly, because this is not the forum for that. Number 2, we have had state organizations and some corrupt political and government officials. Number 3, rogue corporates and business community who have brought us to this state where children, students are thinking of leaving the country. But last of that, number 4, last but not least, is a gullible population who have got used to freebies, who encourage all these corruptions to thrive. They are the ones who keep voting and then making these people do more corruption. Recent events since Easter bombs, to the COVID pandemic, to the shortages and queues, to the Aragalaya, and to the mess we are in now, with US dollars 50 to 60 billion in debt, highlighted 2 things. One is we've lived a luxury life beyond our means. Sri Lankans could not afford the luxury life we have been living for the last 20, 30 years. Number 2 is that we have not been earning enough foreign exchange to sustain the lives of our people. So the event showed how valuable are the foreign currency generating industries and exports to our economy. The IMF in their recent report says by 2028, Sri Lanka should be a US dollar 89 billion economy. Now, how are we going to achieve this? Who are the industries, who are the people who will help our country to achieve this? That is where the hospitality industry comes in. That is where you guys are needed. That is where the opportunities are. So coming back to the question, to be or not to be, there are 2 ways of leaving your country. One is brain drain, the other one is brain gain. I'll start with the latter, the brain gain. When our employees go to a country for employment, Middle East, Europe, or wherever, on a fixed term contract, they come back to the country after some time. They come back to the country rich in experience and rich themselves. They bring in their saved funds, they fulfill their life dreams, own a house, own a car, get married, have a lovely family, and you're set for life. And then you start contributing to the industry. So that is one advantage. The people develop when they come. But when they come, what happens to the industry? Our hotels are richer by their experience. When they come back after working in good brands, good branded hotels, good organizations that we do not have here. And then our industry gets richer by their experience. Thirdly, the country gets richer by their foreign exchange. So however much we say people leave the country, no, people going on fixed term contracts to the Middle East and such countries, earning good money and coming back is a brain gain. The brain drain is when you go and settle down in a country as an immigrant citizen. They for sure lead a very comfortable, luxurious life, of course working very hard. When we see and meet our friends, relatives coming to Sri Lanka on holidays, they bring cheese, chocolate, etc. But we can see how much they miss the life and culture of the country of birth. When I see them, I remember the song written by late Mr. Rambanda Seneviratna and sung by late Visharada Kapurge. I'm not going to sing, but it says, Kolamba ahasa kalu karagena, muhudu hulanga handala nokota, otunna bimada duwagena, enna daika pimme, mang enaturu indikadalanga, innawada amme. End of the day, wherever you go, wherever you settle down, your country of birth, your country of culture matters. that is where you need to be in, that is where you need to have your roots in. But now the question is, to be a big fish in small pond or not to be a small fish in a big pond, and vice versa. Our country need to grow into $89 billion economy. With the credit ratings improving, we will have investors coming in, and tourism has no other way to go but up. In that growth, who is going to be partners? Who is going to be gaining? So you will be a big fish in this small pond, or you can go and be a small fish in a big pond. My brother-in-law, one of them, I have 4 of them, one of them says, high risk is high gain, low risk is low gain. Yes, you stay here, high risk, but you also will have high gain. You go to a low risk, comfortable, cool life somewhere else, yes, low gain, because you are equal into everything. I'm not saying that, all those countries will have many luxuries which are normal. In here, you have to buy that luxuries, right? But in a country, you can, in a country like Sri Lanka, in the next 5 years, you can buy all these luxuries because opportunities are huge. Now, there is one thing which you can't buy, which is not in your span of control. That is the responsibility of the government and not you and I or the Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management. That is to create a society which is ruled by law, equal to everyone, and free of corruption. Money is not the primary reason for people to leave. Money is not the primary reason for youngsters to seek greener pastures abroad. The lack of one rule equal to everyone and corruption-free society is what driving a lots of people abroad. So until that is done, brain drain will happen and tourism will suffer. But to the graduates, I think next 5 years offer a golden opportunity in our industry to be the big fish in a small pond. Always think of this. Think of the people like Chris Gayle, Usain Bolt. You know how they started, but where they are now through hard work and dedication. So I thank all of you all to patiently listening to me, and the organizing committee for the invitation and having me here. And wish you all the very best to the graduates. And if you are ever in doubt, if you are ever not sure of how to go forward, think of Usain Bolt, and you know what his pose is. Yep. Only way is to go up. All the best. Ayubowan.
Thank you very much, sir, for a very heartwarming and an inspiring message to all our graduates and to everyone who is present here with us.